Hello everyone, thank you for tuning into my channel. So today I'm coming to you with a video that I think is going to help a lot of women, and this video is to talk about the 8 reasons why your twist out is a hot ass mess. I know, you'll never hear me curse. I don't use cuss words and things like that, but I honestly feel like ham is the perfect way to describe what you feel about your twist outs, because I've had so many people tell me, like, I just can't get my twist outs right, I can't get them right, whatever the reasons may be. I think I've got them nailed in these 8 reasons, and some of these reasons you probably don't do, but I feel like at least 1 or 2 of them you might find helpful to you. You'll say, you know what, that's something I haven't tried, or that's something that I do that's keeping my twist out from not being the bomb. And specifically when I talk about being a hot ass mess, what I'm referring to is the level of curl definition. It seems like everyone who I speak to who's asking about getting a good twist out, they're looking for that curl definition. So if that's you, then this video should be extremely helpful to you. So reason number 1 that your twist out is a ham is because you didn't detangle. And it's so interesting because I find people who are like, you know, I don't detangle my hair except for when I am doing my wash regimen, and I feel like that's okay. That's fine. But if you're looking to get perfect definition, you have to detangle your hair. I personally, when I'm looking for the bomb definition, I use a Denman brush. My Denman brush is the D3 brush, and I will, after applying the moisturizers onto my hair, I use the Denman and I detangle from the ends to the root. There's a lot less hair loss and shed when you do it that way because it's in a very small section. But if you're not detangling, when you twist those hairs around each other and then you take those 2 sections of hair out of the twist, there's no problem there. The problem is when you begin separating those 2 separate sections. If the hair is all twisted up like this and you start pulling them apart, you're creating frizz. So if you're looking for the bomb curl definition and you're not detangling, you are in violation of twist out ham number 1. Okay, the second reason why your twist out probably looks a ham is because you are borrowing hair. If you're unfamiliar with the term borrowing hair, it simply means as you take your 2 sections of hair and you twist them around each other, you pull a little bit of hair from this side when you go around, and then you put a little bit of hair from this side when you go around, and then when you go back around this way you pull a little bit more hair, and you keep doing that all the way down, grabbing a little bit of hair. And when you do that, the problem you create is tangling. So even if you've detangled the hair, once you borrow hair as you go around and you twist, you're creating more tangles because that tangle just keeps moving itself upward as you twist, grabbing more hair, grabbing more hair. You want to keep both sections completely separate. Each time you go around, keep them separate. And for me at the very beginning, I used to stretch the hair out like this and then twist it, because if I kept my fingers close like this, I would just grab it just naturally, because when you're braiding and you're cornrowing, that's what you do. So don't borrow hair. That's creating tangles. And like I said, when you go to loosen up that twist, just like with you not detangling, it's gonna just be all together. So you wanna make sure that you are detangling your hair and then not borrowing hair, okay? The third reason why your twist out is a ham is probably because your hair is either not wet or not wet enough. If your hair is dry when you do a twist out, then you're not getting the appropriate level of hydration that you need to clump your hair during the twisting phase, so that when it dries, you have clumps of nice defined curls. So you want to make sure your hair is really, really wet when you are doing that initial twisting of your hair. And by keeping it wet, you're giving your hair maximum hydration, clumping your curls together, and you have minimal frizz when your hair is wet. If you've wet your hair with a spray bottle, or you just freshly washed your hair and then you apply the product to a section, detangle it like I said, and then you twist, you're gonna see when you unloosen that twist, Each section has very defined clumps of hair, and you'll separate those clumps. If you do your twist out on dry hair, you probably are going to get more elongated hair at the end. However, it's not going to be the bottom curl definition. So you want to make sure your hair is really the fourth reason why your twist out is a ham is probably because you're not using the right product. And this is something that I feel it takes a lot of people a while to find that holy grail product. But ideally for tighter textures like my own, something that is a cream or a pudding works way better than a whipped buttery product. You want something that actually feels creamy to the touch, so that when you put it on your hair, it gives maximum hydration. And once again, that hydration is what you need to keep frizz away. And you want to use enough product so that when you put it on your hair actually feels coated. And then the fifth reason why your twist out is a ham is probably because you need a trim. Now, I've talked about this before, but people don't listen to me, or maybe they're just afraid of losing too much length with the trim. But honestly, if you followed all of the steps that I just gave you, you've made sure that you detangled, you didn't borrow hair, your hair was thoroughly hydrated with water, your product was the right type of product to give you a nice curl definition, but then your ends are all jacked up, your hair is going to be perfectly curled from root to right before the end, and then it's going to just go like that and look crazy. And that's going to ruin your twist out because all of this is going to be bushy and it doesn't look well manicured. The sixth reason why your twist out looks a ham is probably because you didn't let your hair dry long enough. I know that a lot of us do our hair the night before, let it dry overnight, wake up the next morning and take it down. If you've taken down your hair and it was damp, and you knew it was damp as you were touching your twist, you were like, oh, my hair didn't dry, then you can expect for your curl definition to not really have set in. The moisture that is still left in your hair is going to frizz up. Our hair is prone to frizzing, and with that moisture staying in there and not thoroughly drying in that twisted pattern, giving your hair that pattern, you're gonna get frizzy hair. The seventh reason why your twist out is a ham is because you didn't coil your ends. How important is it that after you've detangled, made sure your hair was wet, you used the right products, you twisted without borrowing hair, your ends were trimmed, and then you're doing your twisting, you get all the way to the end and you're twisting like this, all the way to the end. That's not gonna work. Because when you go untwist that, it's gonna be all tangled up at the very bottom, and now you gotta fight to get that open, and then your ends look all messed up. So you have really pretty curl definition up here, and then it's just all a mess down here as if you needed a trim. When you get to about halfway of the tip of your pinky, you want to just take the hair and start coiling it with these two fingers around and around and around. And by doing that, you're giving yourself that coil at the very end, and it also eliminates breakage, because if you twist all the way to the bottom like this and then you have to get that open and you're fighting to get it open, you're causing breakage, and it's just a little bit too rough. It's not as gentle as you should be on your hair. And the eighth reason why your twist out is a ham is because you fluffed way too much. Way too much. Now, I've been known to say one does not just untwist their twist out. They must untwist and fluff to the gods. But you can't go crazy with the fluffing. You may have to make sure that you're fluffing it enough at the root to give you volume and to lift your hair so it's not just looking kind of flat and lifeless. But you don't want to fluff through all of the length of your hair, creating frizz everywhere and just ruining the curl definition. You knew you should have stopped and you didn't, and therefore you have a hot ass mess on your head. Alright, so just a disclaimer, I don't want any of you coming for me about me talking about perfect curl definition and how women should embrace the hair that they have and all of these extra things, because it's not necessary. This video is exclusively for women who are having trouble getting the perfect type of curl definition that they are looking for. If that's not you, and all of the things that I described in this video are things you've done, you know how to get the perfect curl definition, you don't need any help, then by all means just keep it moving. You don't need to fight me. We don't have to argue about it. You don't have to talk about how my titles are pissing you off and things like that. It's not necessary. Just, you know, move on and maybe share this video with someone else. But these are 8 tips that I feel like if you've been having horrible twist outs, go through each one and make sure you're doing it as I've described, and your twist out will look fabulous, darling. Yes. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please share below any additional tips you think that women should also take note of when they're doing their twist outs, so that way we can continue to help our naturalistas who are in need. Subscribe to my channel. I put out videos every couple of days. Make sure to check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And as always, I love you for watching. Bye. And I repeat, do not take your nipple and just pull it out of your baby's mouth. That will cause you more pain, and that will cause scabbing